ahead, Instagram. Guys. Quote.
Okay.
Good morning. Hi, Micheline, Cheryl, Leanna. Thanks for joining me. How's everybody doing this morning? Let's get a good yoga practice going and see how we can't change some of our emotions and feelings to being more bright together. So I'm going to have you just take a seat on the floor with your legs easy crossed and just start moving into some deep breaths as we get ready for our practice today. Welcome everybody. It's good to see you starting to scroll up. Love seeing the comments. If you have a minute, just send me a little hi, and it's good to see that you're joining me today. Today's theme is staying above it all. So as you move into every day, I don't care if we're in this predicament we're in now where we're taking a little break from our normal life that we had developed and created, we can still stay above it all. We can still choose to live and have a life that is joyful. So as we start our practice today, I want you to think about that. What does it mean for you to stay above it all? I think we have to make those choices quite a few times in our lives, and this is no exception. In fact, this might be an exceptional challenge for us to stay above it all, and that's okay. We're up for it. So as we sit on our mats, take a nice deep breath. Maybe take a hand over your heart and lower belly just to really bring yourself more present within the body and the sensations that you'll be experiencing as we practice yoga. So staying above it all, right? Some of the suggestions that we know even innately, but also through the study of science, is that we can improve our quality of life and encourage a more positive and joyful life through three things. I'm going to call them the 3 M's today. One is music. So how many of you have missed music? I know I have. And I finally recognized that after, gosh, I don't know how many weeks, that because I'm at home, I'm not exposed to music like I was when I was in other areas doing my life. So I've started to implement music, either in my earbuds when I'm out walking, or just even in the house. I'll turn on some of my favorite music, maybe even dance a little bit. It is a sure way to lift your mood, to stay above it all. Also, movement. So we know that if we're experiencing depression or anxiety or low mood, that movement is how we can move above that. So mood should not predict your movement, but movement will predict your mood. So sometimes we have to force ourselves into taking those walks, into getting out and moving our body, or taking a yoga class, and then it's like a miracle. We just feel better. And so that's that second M I'm talking about. The third M is being still, or meditation. And to just really recognize and be quiet for a while how you're feeling, the sensations in your body, and then also your feelings in your heart and head as you move through your meditative practice. What's going on? And then you can recognize if the thoughts are not serving you and work on changing them. So just the ability to recognize I'm having a thought that's bringing me down, and I'm going to shift it. So one might be, instead of thinking about what we can't do during this period in our lives, it's what can I do? And make a plan and action to do that. So we're shifting from the negative, when we recognize it, stopping ourselves from doing that, and then thinking about, what can I do? So yeah, I can't play music necessarily and have a yoga class, but I can certainly turn on music and enjoy it and make sure that I'm enjoying it. So there's always a way. It's just recognizing that we are attempting to stay above it all. All right? Good. Let's start to move our head and neck around and just move in a way that feels good to you, nice and easy. So today we will be flowing for about 40 minutes and just recognizing how it feels to push and pull the body in these movements that I'll be suggesting. As always, this is an all levels class that you are in charge of creating where you're taking the practice. So if I am suggesting some easy movement side to side, like I am now, you can take that range of motion in one that feels healthy to you. Sometimes we take this opportunity to learn to really just say no to some of the things that are being suggested in yoga, right? In the practice or in the movement. And noticing how just the power of knowing where our body is best served helps us feel better. And sometimes we're just willing to be more powerful and exertive and accept whatever challenges might be coming. So these are your choices. As always, I want you to be safe. Let's hold a nice stretch over our heads and just wander the middle body around. Maybe create some circles with your heart. And you'll pause and reverse those circles. So staying safe. We're not looking to injure. Using blocks or blankets or pads under our knees if we need to. Good, and then stretch up nice and high. Take your hands behind your head, lace them up, and create a little supported hammock. And place your head back into your hands. Take a deep breath here. Look up high, everybody. Open up your elbows with a deep breath. Good job. Let's rock here, right to left. So a little taller in your spine as you drop one elbow and lift the opposite. And then come back to center and reach over your head, stretching your wrists above you. And then come into a C curve very slowly. Feel your navel drop back into your spine. Stretch your arms out in front of your heart and drop your head down. Lift back up with this tall spine, tall reach, and back into that C curve. So I want you to get a little stronger here. Blow that breath out. Inhale, last time. But let's reach back even further, maybe softening the elbows to get your hands further back. Look up. And then let your hands just fall down your sides. Easy does it, twisting right to left. Again, a little organic in your movement. It feels good to go bigger, do that, or to rise up into a stronger, straighter spine. Just do the one that seems to be motivating you to move into more space in your body. We know that our yoga practice allows us to invite more space into the body, and that's one of the more enjoyable moments is when you really do feel that space. The next time you twist to the right, let's stay there. Hold on tightly with your left hand over your right knee, and then lift up that right arm and look as high as you can before bending to the left. Just take that big stretch. Again, notice where you're inviting space. It's right underneath that right lung, all the way through the intercostal muscles of your rib cage, and maybe your shoulder even feels this. Good, release your arm. Let's try the other side. Big twist here. Hold on tightly with your right hand over the left knee. Lift up the left arm when you're ready. Look up. Get really tall before bending to the right. Stay here. Practice breathing, finding that space, encouraging expansion in the left side of the body. And releasing your arm when you're done. Hands over your knees. Let's wrap both hands around the knees and then drop back into that C curve again. And pull back on the back of the heart and drop your chin even lower. Good, rise up nice and tall, take a breath in. Plant your hands like little tents behind you and open up. So these are just reminiscent of moving the spine in flexion and extension, which is cow-cat. Good, so you can always even move your back like that when you're in a seated pose and you aren't able to get on your hands and knees for your true cow-cat. Just make sure that you're moving your back and stretching. You'll always feel better. Let's come on to our hands and knees next. Take your time finding that table position. Hands stretched out nice and brightly underneath your wrists and shoulders. And then your hips are going to swing right to left. Knees are about the same width as your hips. So I've been taking more walks because I began to notice that I was able to really get out of my way of not functioning in a healthy way when I wasn't walking as much. So I found that walking was a great form of meditation for me and movement. So I was able to focus on my breath, the rhythm of the pattern of my walking. And then again, like I always say, the opportunity to look up and notice the beauty that surrounds me while I'm walking and find time to be grateful and present in that practice of walking and meditation. So it just helped to improve things for me. So you have to find what that is for you. Curl your toes under, push your hips back. The 3 M's are just suggestions. I encourage you to find what works for you. Toes are curled under, you're stretching the soles of the feet. And then bring the body back up, point the toes and come back into a full extension child's pose. So we're going to take a moment to walk our hands all the way out, drop our ears, take 2 breaths while you remain here, sending those hips all the way back. Good, you're going to take another 2 breaths as you walk your hands to the right, dropping your nose to your knee, and again, searching for more space and expansion on the left side of the body as you drop your nose even lower. When you're done with those 2 breaths, you'll move across, take slow, deep breaths as you drop your head to your left knee. Opening up the right side of the body as an expanded breath there. And then walk the hands forward again and take just 1 breath as you set your hips even further back. Good, let's rise back to table and start our cow-cat. We'll do 3 full breaths in cow and cat. In cow, we're gazing up through our eyebrows, tailbone high, belly full, and then a strong connection to the core in cat as you draw the tailbone to the chin. We're on our last one. We'll hold cat just a little bit longer. Keep emptying that breath till it just feels like you can't anymore. And then set yourself back into a squat at the back of the mat. So again, this class will take on several levels of practice. I want you to feel free to choose the one that serves you today. I do want to encourage you to feel like you are pushing yourself always above what you feel like you can feel good at. So here's an example. I feel pretty good in this squat, but how can I feel even better? And I'll always ask you to start by taking a deep breath first, recognizing if that did lift you a bit. And if not, then just create what feels like a better extension in your spine. Maybe add a challenge, but always stay with that first suggestion of using your breath to try to feel better. So we're all holding either squat or balanced squat here. Good, and then we'll bring our fingertips down to the floor and come into a forward fold and just an easy swing right to left. So again, think about as I move right to left, my fingers are climbing across the floor. I'm keeping my knees soft and bent, head down. Now how can I move above where I am now? Above the sensations that are feeling good, how can I make them feel even better? Maybe I'm going to have a deeper breath. Maybe I'm going to swing further or swing even smaller. You get my point, right? back to the center, grab your calves, tuck your chin, and hold a forward fold for 2 breaths. Keep drawing the crown of the head lower, press down through your feet, and lift the tailbone higher. This doesn't mean that you need to lock your knees. Good, we're going to roll up next. Some of you might need to place your hands on your lap. Everybody bends the knees and pushes down and roll up. Standing in mountain pose at the back of the mat, swing those arms nice and bright over your head, look up, exhale and let them float out wide. Good, swing down, head drops all the way back up, exhale and let it go. One more time with me, head all the way down, stretch up even higher, and down to the sides. Let's see if we can lace our hands up behind our backs. Extend the arms straight as you can today, folding the shoulder blades back, and look up at the sky as you open up your heart. Take a full breath. Exhale out. Bend the knees and come into a squat with arms still reaching to the back of the room. Bring your chin back into your throat, extend through the spine, and drop your hips in your challenge pose. So my legs are wide here. You can choose to have a narrower set legs if you want. Either way, the knees are following the toes. You have one more breath. You're challenging the strength of your legs to pause and hold you here. Good. Either take your hands to the floor for a fold or fold by drawing the arms forward over your head, still connected. Breath in and out. Take one more, press firmer into your feet, and then drop the hands down to the floor if they're not there yet. We're walking into down dog, everybody. Find down dog and pedal a few pedals. I'm going to have you stay right there. I'm going to encourage you to think about rising above. Whatever sensations you're feeling now, improve them, either with your thought, or with your action, or with your breath, or maybe all 3. Inhale and exhale, make it feel better. Maybe shake your head. Nice work. Last breath. You're in down dog. I'm going to have you float forward into plank, dropping your right knee right below your right hip. Press down with your right shin. Lift your left leg up and look up. And maybe add that right arm extension. So left leg, right arm, brightly expanding away from you. I want you to feel your right fingers reach even further away. Left knee is straight, toes are stretching back. Last breath. Drop that right hand, stretch that left foot down to the mat, and draw your left arm over your head. So we're in that side balance. Take an opportunity to raise your ribs. Feel really good in your breath here. Nice, and then balance with me, left arm up, left leg up. Take an opportunity to try to look up. Whenever you can, that change of gaze or drishti point can be challenging, but also invigorating. Dropping your left hand, keep the left leg up, hold here. Try a dip with me, lean forward, either a small bend or chin down to a block or the floor, and then inhale and rise up. Again, hold, maybe dip with your exhale, and then try one more with me. This is strong, into those triceps, narrow elbows. Last one, drop that left toe, come back to down dog. Stay here and pedal, or walk your hands back to your feet, into a fold, and walk back into down dog again. So you have an option just to stay in that down dog. Good, let's come into plank again. Stay here. Good, drop the left knee, lift the right leg straight and strong, look up, and maybe lift your left arm. You're in that balanced pose. So you might feel challenged here, and that's okay. Accept the challenge. Rise above any negative thoughts. Change them when you can. Breathe that breath that helps you to feel better. Stretch your left hand further away from you, your right toes further back. One more breath. Good. Drop your left hand, stretch your right foot all the way down, and then lift that right arm over your head for that side stretch. Raise up your right ribs, feel them open up as you breathe. Notice how good that feels. Rising up to a balanced pose, reach up high, straight right leg. Look up at the ceiling if you can to challenge yourself. Find your next breath. Rising sunbird, drop that right hand, lift the right leg, look up high. Add those bowing sunbirds if you want. Inhale to rising sunbird, exhale to bowing. A total of 3 if you would like today. Great job. Hold that rising sunbird. Drop the toe, come back into down dog. Rest here or walk your hands back to your feet. Draw the chin close to the knees and then walk back into down dog. Good. So we're all in down dog. Take a moment to lift your heels as high as you can and then bend the knees down towards the earth as you pull your hips back. Feel that the spine is expanding as you take your next breath. Crown of the head is reaching to your thumbs. Push into the toes, come forward into plank. Exhale, keep the knees down as you pull the hips back. So I'm going to have you continue this strength pose. Some of you might drop your knees, come back to child's pose, and forward to knee plank instead, like I'm demonstrating now. So you're either in down dog with deep knee bends, pushing yourself forward into a strong plank, or you're in knee plank, coming back to child's pose. Try 2 more of these. Inhale yourself forward into your plank. Exhale back to down dog. When you're done, hold down dog and bow your head even lower with a shake. Good. Let's move ourselves to the top of the mat. Small steps when you arrive. Let's just soften and drop. Grab your elbows, bow your head. Gently pull on those elbows, especially on that long, slow exhale. Get ready to roll up, bend the knees, press down, coming into mountain pose with arms at your sides. Good. Let's step out wide. Press into your feet, draw the arms over your head. Keep those arms wide, star pose. I think this is a great pose to come into if you're feeling a little below where you want to be feeling anytime during the day. Star pose helps you to expand your energy. It helps you expand your breath. It helps you to stretch all the body. It's a very positive pose. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Swing them back over your head. Let's grab the right wrist and pull it over to the left. Big side bend, everybody. Go as far as you can. Inhale, reach up brighter. Exhale, grab your left wrist and come over to the right. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, feet are still wide. Let's come into a brief pause in horse. Go as low as you can. Keep coming down. Inhale, back to star. Exhale into horse. And let's try 2 more. So range of motion feels really good. Exhale, horse. 1 more all the way up. Exhale, let's all hold our wide squats. So some of us might place our hands on our thighs if we're modifying today. Some of us might bring our elbows down for a deeper. And then a third option is to hold the squat with extended arms and extended spine parallel to the ground. So you're pulling your hips way back. Everybody as deep as you can. Again, you're being in charge of how far you go in the pose, and then you're working on making it feel better. Stand above it all. Drop your hands down. You're still wide in your feet. Let's drop our heads and just shake them out. Heel toe your feet back underneath your hips. Inhale to a half lift. Drop your hands, and let's step back with just our right foot, everybody. Rock it back and forth. So our next segment will actually lead you to some possible jumps, and I want you to feel like your option is to just maybe lift your heels instead of your whole foot. So I'm going to have you come into a lunge. Before we get there, we're going to do a little opening of our hips. If you have a block today, right hand on the block, left hand up, you're in a twist. Drop that arm back, circle it around, just 2 big loops. And then raise that hand over your head and maybe come into a standing lunge. So in our standing lunge, we feel the extension in our back, thumbs are to the back of the room, fingers to the ceiling. And then take it on down to the floor. Step forward, switch the block to the other side, and step your left leg back. We're back to just moving forward and back. Always want to make sure we're moving into spaces that we have welcomed lots of energy and space first. Good. Coming into a lunge when you're ready, holding it. Left hand on a block, right hand to the ceiling, holding this twist, expanding through your breath as you look up. How do I make it feel better? Get into the habit of looking to improve your mental connection to what you're doing. Good, drop that arm behind you, 2 full swings. And then leaving the hand over your head, staying here, or into a standing lunge if you're able to do that today. Feel strong in whatever pose you chose. Feel the back extending. Press down through your feet. Good. Hands are going to come down to the floor. Move your block out of the way and let's just step forward. Feet about hip width or shoulder width apart. A little easier if they're a little wider in this next one. Fingers on the floor, lift your heels as high as you can. Drop your heels, lift your toes, and then separate the toes away from each other. Drop into every toe, into the heels, bend the knees, come into a squat. Elbows on the thighs, look forward. Good, I'm going to have you take your arms and swing them over your head. Try to touch the palms together. Exhale, throw your hands behind you. So like a wood chop, inhale, powerful breath. Exhale, powerful exhale. Good, so this is where we're going to eventually move into lifting your heels slightly off the floor when you lift your hands, or even taking a jump and then throw the hands back. So I want you to continue this with or without the jump. I know jumps can be invigorating and challenging, and I want you to try to do the best you can. Again, big breath in, fingertips touching, throw that breath and arms back. So that deep breath, strong exhale. 3 more. Reach up into a back bend when you're ready to take your next breath. And let your arms come down. Heart rates should be up, mountain pose. Swing your hands over your head, nice full breath. Hold it. Exhale, slow into your heart. Good. Inhale, come into that back bend 1 more time. Let the arms just drop below you. Swing them back over your head. Watch them come together. And slow exhale into your heart. Good. Let's take a moment to balance here. Feet are right underneath your hips or shoulders. Practice thinking about just being on that right foot. Maybe even closing your eyes for a breath. Feeling your toes stretch, your heels connect to the earth. Pick up your left heel. Open your eyes and look forward. Brace the core and bring your arms over your head. Let's see if you can lift your knee. Take a moment, feel your hands drop down low. Level 1, maybe lace your hands underneath your thighs and hold the leg higher. Or level 2, maybe over your shins. Either way, stay here for 2 breaths. Slowing down the breath, essential for getting back into the present moment. Good, arms back over your head. That left knee is going to come all the way behind you into a lunge, warrior 1. All right, so drop your hands down nice and easy here. Feel your body weight go back into the back foot or left foot. Inhale, lift your heel and look up. Exhale, come down. So I want this to just be the first 2 pretty easy, but then the second 2 are going to look more like warrior 3. Inhale, exhale back to your lunge. Inhale. Exhale, back to your lunge. And the third option is to jump your warrior three. Inhale, back to the lunge. Lift off the standing right foot and just have a little fun, like you're gonna take off and fly above it all. So you're gonna continue with whatever one you chose. It could just be a heel lift. You could be lifting the whole leg into warrior three, or you could be doing the jumps. Try two more. Let's hold our warrior one lunge. Draw the hands over your head, thumbs to the back of the room, holding with one more breath. Good, arms are gonna come down. Step to the top of the mat, hands to the heart. Breathe in a full breath, pause with it, and a slow exhale. Good, try it again, full breath. Pause with it. Good. So I want you to practice just thinking about being on your left foot now. Maybe even close your eyes for a breath. Feel your toes, the inner and outer left heel. Hands are at your sides. Lift up your right heel or your right knee. Okay? So level one, that toes on the floor, you're just gazing forward and creating that stability, that recognition of you being in this pose in a healthy, above it all, mindful position. So hands over the head on your next breath. So if your knees are up, you're maintaining this balance. Hands either wrapped up underneath the thighs and pulling in, or over the shins when you're ready. Still holding that forward gaze, that positive outlook. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands back over your head when you're ready to take your next breath. Good, and then that right leg is going to step back into warrior one. Hold here, drop the arms down with ease. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the right heel. Exhale down. This is our start of moving towards warrior three lifts. If you feel like just staying in the pose, that's always an option. Again, taking it into warrior three and back into your lunge. And continue here. There's always one leg that will give you a little more trouble, and all I'm asking is that you give yourself some patience to find the focus to hold the pose. And if you want, change this into jumps where the left foot comes off the ground and it almost feels like you're going to take off and fly in your warrior three. So we've got our heel lifts. Continue. We have our leg lift behind us, warrior three. Or we've got our jumps going. Right? Take your time. Find your power. Try to motivate yourself to feel better about whatever you've chosen. Good thoughts, powerful, above it all thoughts. Two more. Holding your lunge, warrior one. Arms over your head when you're ready. Press down with the feet, lift up with the arms and spine. Pull those thumbs further back and look up. Good, feel both of your heels driving into the earth. Beautiful, hands back down to your sides and step forward. Great job. Hands to the heart. Maybe take a moment to close your eyes and feel both feet equal on the earth. Drop your hands, open your eyes. Swing out in front, take a full breath. Let's come through a hinge in the hips, pulling the tailbone back, keeping the core strong as you bow, forward fold, head down. Float halfway up with me, fingertips on the shin bones or fingers on the floor. Drop those hands down and step into plank. Let's find a plank that just feels powerful to us. That could be knee plank for you today. Feel a strong sense of breath coming and going here. Try not to make it choppy, but full. Side plank is next. We'll do a flow. You can choose to be on your hands and knees, level one, or choosing to drop one knee like we did earlier in the practice. Otherwise, legs are straight, staggered or stacked, lifting up your hand and looking up. Exhale, coming back to plank and feeling your strength. Inhaling to side plank, look up. Exhale, back to your plank. So I'm going to have you stay in this rhythm of your breath, leading you back and forth, but also asking yourself, how can I feel better in where I am right now? So it doesn't matter to me if you're on your knees or choosing to do one knee at a time or the full pose. You are looking how to feel better. And if you'd like to take another challenge on, I know this is a hard one, when you come back to plank, take a moment to come into a chaturanga pause, back to plank that leads you back to half. So that nice, strong, resilient practice of using that chaturanga to help you flow as well can be the third option. If you're on your hands and knees, you can try adding that chaturanga as well. And continue here. Again, how can I choose to think better, to feel better, to do better in everything that I'm doing? It's a mindset, and it takes work just like anything else we practice in life. It's easy to go negative, and it's work to try to stay above it all. And I'm hoping that the work that you put in today helps you and inspires you to do that work throughout your day today and every day. Good. When you're ready, you'll rest in child's pose or down dog. Take a moment. We're almost done. Big stretch in down dog or child's pose. 2 more breaths, please. Head down. I know that some of the poses were very challenging today, but whatever you chose to do, I hope it empowered you to recognize when thoughts that weren't serving you came up, like I can't, I shouldn't, and that instead you chose that you could do whatever it is that worked best for you today, and then you found a way to breathe into that. Think about your 3 M's: music, movement, and meditation. Try to maybe implement those every day in whatever it is for you. Yoga, workouts, anything that helps you move and change your motivation in your thoughts. Good, we're all going to come into plank and lower onto our mat, so some of you might want to drop your knees first, otherwise all the way down. Come into upward facing dog or cobra and pause. Work on extending through the front of the chest or heart. Relax through the hips. Pull the shoulders down your back. Bend the elbows into cobra if you're not there. Come into baby cobra if you were in cobra. 1 more breath, holding the pose, not your breath. And then extend the heart forward, the gaze forward as you lower the nose all the way down to the mat. Good. Push back into child's pose and take a moment to stretch the back here. Notice how good that feels. And we're going to come back to table, possibly crossing your legs behind you and rolling back into a seated pose, or getting there however you would like. Good. Soles of the feet together. Just take a moment to be present. Breathing in and out, raising the head as high as you can. Almost done, everybody. I'm going to suggest a song if you go out on a walk today, or if you want to just put it on in your home. If you put it on in your home, I want you to think about dancing a little. It's called I Am Here, and it's by Pink. And it's just a great beat, and it really helps to sort of motivate you to be present. I am here. And no matter what that means, no matter what you bring to I Am Here, it's perfect for that moment. And just see if just listening, moving your body, and having a good time to that song just doesn't make you feel better by the end of it. So check it out. I Am Here by Pink. Drop your head all the way over to the right as you still hold on to your ankles or shins, and then all the way to the left. Just feel that good stretch in your neck. Great, and then sit up tall with a deep breath and fold forward over your feet with a long exhale. Let's do a little stretching here. Let's straighten out our right leg, bring our left foot into our inner leg. Right hand to the inner extended leg, and left arm stretches away before reaching over the top of your right leg. Big stretch here, feels good. Push down with your left knee as you extend the left arm over the top of the right leg. Bring yourself up nice and tall, reaching up. Left hand posts up behind you. Right hand, look up, lift up. And then bring yourself into stargazer. Hips up, reach to the back of the room as you take a full breath. Where do you feel it, and how can you make it feel better? It could be just your thought. Release that right arm down. Sit up tall. Switch those legs out. Left leg stretched out. Left hand to the inside of the leg. Right arm's going to reach away when you get ready to take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, you'll reach over the top of that left leg with your right arm. My left elbow dropped just to give me more space. Some of you can drop it all the way down. Some of you maybe just a slight bend. Keep extending through the right arm as you push the right knee away from you. Finish your breath. Reach up with your right hand when you're ready to inhale. Exhale the right hand behind you. Lift the left. And then stargazer here. Lift up your tailbone. Reach behind you. Feel the pose, and then make it feel better. Why not? Choose to live every day. We're not waiting for this thing to be over to live our life. Live today. Make today the best day ever. And return down. Good. Sitting with your legs out in front of you, a nice forward fold when you're ready, all the way down with your head. Easy deep breath into your spine. Inhale, roll up. And let's come on to our backs. We're almost there. Nice, easy rest into the spine, knees into the chest. Hold on to those legs however you're comfortable, and just practice letting go into the spine. So the weight of your back is getting heavier. The back of your head feels like it's completely surrendered to the mat. Happy baby when you're ready. Level 1, it could be you're just pulling the shins apart with your hands. Level 2, grabbing inner or outer sole. Everybody take a full breath in, expanding their belly and exhaling. Remember, this practice is about serving you, about creating a life that just feels more connected, healthier. Good. We're going to bring our legs back together, bringing our feet on the floor when you're ready, and some few windshield wipers. Think about gratitude as you continue to swing your knees right to left and turn your head in the opposite direction. I'm going to take a moment to thank Four Corners and Leanna for having this opportunity for us to still practice yoga together in resident yoga. If you go to the website or to Instagram and click the link, you will be taken to YouTube, where there's an immense amount of classes to choose from. They're all amazing, from sound bath to meditation to power yoga to beginning yoga. Just go ahead and go through the library of what there is and choose a practice to participate in, especially if you're saying, I'm just not feeling very good or motivated. Allow that yoga practice to inspire you. Good. Last windshield wiper. We're going to move into our final pose of Shavasana. Some of you might like that constructive hip pose, arms at your side, feet wide, knees falling in, or the full extension of your legs out to the corners of your mat, shoulders back and relaxed. Take a last breath looking up. Remind yourself, sometime today, get outside and look up. As you exhale, close your eyes and allow yourself to be still. A moment of being still so that we are clearer about what our thoughts are telling us, so that we can be more intelligent and discerning about what we allow those thoughts to be. So inhale, and exhale. Inhale, feeling good, feeling positive. Exhale, stress, fear. Inhale, peace. Exhale, peace. 2 more breaths. Just take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you? And we'll stretch and wiggle a little bit and join me in a seated pose when you're ready. Maybe rolling to one side, sitting up tall. Reminding yourself that every moment, every breath, we can move into what might feel better just by simply recognizing our efforts to do so. Hands in front of the heart. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Remember those 3 M's and see if you can't create those today for yourself. Music, movement, you did the movement part. Meditation, you even did a little of that. How do you feel? Thank you so much.